What message does the moon have for you this week? Let's find out. I'm going to invite you to place your hand on your heart, and I am going to just shuffle these cards and tune in to the most important thing that you need to know in general about the week ahead, the overarching energy. What's most important for you to know? Queen of Swords. It's a planning week. Queen of Swords very much reminds me of a Capricorn type energy. She is looking out over her queendom and she is planning. She's preparing. She's strategizing. She's not letting her emotions get the best of her. Her heart is right there. It's accessible at any time, but she's really getting into, I'll say, the rational and the logical sides of things, looking at, okay, from a big picture perspective, how does this all play out? So this week, this is a wonderful card to inspire and support us moving into the week because we have the beautiful celebration of Imbolc. And as you jump on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you're familiar with that beautiful Gaelic and spring tradition of Imbolc, it happens Friday, February 2nd. And it is a celebration in its own way of light and light returning, in the sense of it's the halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. It's a time when many of those first little sprouts of growth, maybe the crocuses or the paper white flowers, they start to, and that's maybe not the snowdrops, I think that's the one. They start to emerge from the earth, and you see their beautiful little green tendrils. And what it's meant to do is signify and be symbolic of all of that work you've been doing, especially in the dark, deep nights of winter, as you're resting, as you're planning and gestating. It's starting to show some growth. And in order to prepare for that growth and that energy that's coming, what I love even more, and I get chills of how it all works. Hello, Blissful Oracle. Oh, you're going to celebrate with, oh, hello. I know you, Blissful Oracle. I didn't recognize your name at first. Celebrating with your grandson, you'll weave a Bridget cross, the Bridget crosses, and make candles. I love that. Love, love, love that. Oh my gosh. So I encourage all of you to do that as well. I have my Inside of the Moon journal, which I love, which helps me harness the energy of the moon. And I wanted to talk about how the moon this week really supports the beautiful celebration of Imbolc in such a sweet and gentle way, because you might notice that the energy and the tides are shifting. It does feel like, okay, we're getting ready for something. The big old beautiful planet Uranus, gestation direct, which sounds like Greek for many of us. So what it essentially means is we're getting ready to move forward with our innovation and our creations, and the energy is going to pick up and things are going to be going, 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 going. This week, you're going to have a chance to prepare. So I'm going to encourage you to prepare. And Blissful Oracle, you said your snowballs are just coming out of the ground. You'd seen one bloom, excited. Oh, I got to go into my backyard and see if any came up yet. I've been out of town. I was at an incredible conference in Miami this weekend, speaking about intuition and the moon to an incredible group of business people, everybody from lawyers to teachers to tech gurus to, accountants and bookkeepers. It was wonderful, but I am a little bit jet lagged. I got in the wee hours of the morning, although I'm still same time zone. I'll get there. Okay, so here's what I wanted to show you. So cool. I use this section of the Inside of the Moon journal to help me essentially moon map. So I could collect data as to what's going on with the moon, the cycles of the moon, how's it affecting me? Because the moon's going to affect everybody differently. So you can track the moon. I do have some of these, a new shipment coming in. So those who have pre-ordered, thank you, thank you. It's coming. Those who'd like to get in on this batch, let me know, because I have to do small batches. There's a few left, but it's here for you to create a log. How can I harness the energy of the moon so that I know how to utilize my energy best on that day, so it doesn't feel like a struggle? And we just had the full moon in Leo last week. This week, the moon is waning. So we have this decreasing energy. And what I love about that, and I shouldn't say decreasing energy, cancel, clear, delete. I don't like that. It's a letting go energy. Doesn't mean decreasing, but maybe decreasing the amount of clutter we have, the amount of dirt. But in a waning moon, and I just take note of it here, where the moon is in the zodiac sign and what it's doing. And here's the thing. I like to look at the overall general cycle of the moon first, the phases, and then I get into the zodiac signs. Because my goal here is not to get deep into the astrology speak. We can, but I want to keep it at the point where we're looking at the moon because the moon affects our emotions. It's how we where we go, I'll say, in times of stress and distress. It helps us tune into our intuition. And so at first, I'm like, let me get an overarching look at the week. And the week is saying, okay, waning moon, waning gibbous to a last quarter to a waning crescent. Ultimately, that means we want to let go. We want to prepare for the next growth cycle. So, spring, that big, wonderful energy that's coming. If our gardens are, well, it's not exactly garden cleaning time, but the analogy of if we have too much in our head space and heart space, it's hard to welcome in the growth of new dreams and new opportunities. So in bulk, many times people, in order to prepare for this midway point between the solstice and the equinox, they'll clean their homes. They're preparing for this new exuberant energy. And with the moon starting off in Virgo today, holy cannoli, fantastic for organizing, cleaning, systemizing, getting down to the nitty-gritty details. I love Virgo moons. Then we move into a Libra moon Tuesday and Wednesday and part of Thursday. Yep. And the Libra moon is all about harmony, making things beautiful and joyful, I'll say, to the eye because it's ruled by Venus. So I would encourage you today and tomorrow, do maybe a little bit more of the heavy lifting of just getting rid of things out of your space that might be causing, and I'll back up for a second. When we have a lot of clutter and we have a lot of dirt, and a lot of things around us, it affects our mood and our energy levels. So if we can simply kind of get rid of some of the dirt and the clutter as much as possible, I know we don't have a ton of time this week, it's going to elevate your mood. Because then as you get towards the end of the week into that Scorpio energy that Imbolc is happening in, it's that feeling of going deep within and being able to do the deeper, what many spiritual practitioners call the shadow work. And one of the things about the waning crescent moon that I love, and really even the last quarter, is that it offers an opportunity of healing and forgiveness. We may be reflecting on past cycles where we tried to create something and it didn't quite work out, and we tend to beat ourselves up. There are a lot of factors that go into things. So I encourage you this week, as you've kind of decluttered and cleaned things up, it's great to do cleansing rituals for the home. As you get towards Friday with Imbolc, the beautiful Celtic celebration of spring, take a moment to know that the Scorpio moon is allowing you to go deep to allow for healing. And healing of what? Well, maybe a limiting belief or a self-sabotaging thought that would trip you up from the next growth cycle, the next new moon that's coming up, where you plant your idea and your intention. Because if you have that old pain or hurt, or maybe somebody has done you wrong, if that's still holding you back, that frustration and that anger, it's going to be hard to move forward. I keep hearing in my head, that old saying that, we might hold on to the hurt and the anger, but it's more like a poison to us than to them. So one of the beautiful traditions that I love that comes from the Hawaiian tradition is the Ho'oponopono. And so this week I'll be bringing that in a little bit with my practice and saying, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. You can say that to yourself for things that maybe you've done and you look back and you say, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. But even saying it now, can you feel the shift in energy? Can you feel it just a little bit? It's so powerful. So with that being said, in the journal, I also have the sacred geometric shape. I colored this in. I'm a little discombobulated. I wanted to make a dad joke. This is really funny. I love dad jokes. Or mom jokes. Let me know in the comments if you like really silly jokes. But it's like, oh, I flew all the way here last night and boy, my arms are tired. It's terrible. I love those jokes. Very, very silly. But my brain is catching up. The Vesica Piscis. This is the last week. Right now, the way that I'm using the journal is dateless. You can start and stop wherever you want. You can hop around in months. What I've done is I've created a theme and a pulse to the energy of the journal that will bring you on a journey of transformation. And so this is just a little first section in the journal. You can start wherever you want, those who have it. If you don't have it, you can always kind of Google this or pick one up. They are really cool. And the Vesica Piscis is all about new beginnings. And last week I colored one in. I don't know where I left my color. Oh, here it is. I tried to clean up my office before I left. It's silly. It's not all that pretty. I used whatever markers were around, but I'm going to use that as a focal point with the quartz crystal. So after I clean my home and declutter, what I'll do is I'll light a candle and I'll have my beautiful little baby crystal grid here where I just have the quartz crystal in the middle of my colored sacred geometric shape. And it'll be a way for me to focus in on the shift that's coming, essentially, the energy as it gets ready to pick up. Because next week we're going to start working towards that new moon. Last thing I will say, and I encourage everyone to do that, is think about the beginning of your week. What are your goals? What's your intention? I feel the action this week. I'm definitely taking action. Top 3 things for me as I feel into this week personally. See if this resonates with you. It might be something different. Streamline, downsize, prioritize. I feel the energy getting ready to pick up. And if I don't have things set up in such a way that can move fast with me, I know something's going to fall apart somewhere along the way. The crystal that I'll use is the clear quartz, the ritual, my sacred geometric shape. And to nourish or to feed my spirit, I'm going to bring in a lot more walking. I did that a lot in Miami and it was so much fun. Much nicer weather than Ohio. It's a little gloomy. I hope you have an incredible, incredible week wherever you are. If this has been helpful to you, please do give it a heart or a like. And if you are watching in a place where you can subscribe, it really helps me so that I can continue to share the algorithm with others and ultimately hopefully the goal is to help everyone else in harnessing the energy of the moon and approaching life in a different way that's more in the rhythm with the cosmos and with Mother Earth so that we don't feel so disconnected, so that we feel the hope, we feel the possibilities. All right. Have an amazing, amazing day and so much love to you all. Thanks for joining me live. Lots and lots of hugs to you. Bye, guys.